Hi, I'm Randy McAbee, Tackle Warehouse Pro, and today we're at Lake Lopez and we're going to be talking about my favorite technique, throwing deep diving crankbaits in the summertime. In the summertime, these fish are pulled out on the main lake points, and the great thing about the summertime is they're usually chasing bait as far as shad, shiners, whatever you have in your lake, and they'll be pushing these bait fish up on points. So what I like to do is I like to cover a lot of water real fast, and once I find a point with fish on it, active fish on it, I can usually catch a bunch of them because they're all schooled up chasing this bait. The reason I like to target them with the DD22 is I get to cover a lot of water real fast. I can fish this bait from 10 to 15 foot of water and cover as many points as I can as fast as I can, and eventually I'm going to run into a school of fish. And the lure, my confidence lure I like to use is a DD22. It's just a confidence thing. I've caught tons of fish on it, won a lot of money on this bait. BASSTAR just came out with one that I'm really excited about getting my hands on. It's a bait that you can fish, they say you can fish in any depth, up to 50, 60 feet. I can't wait to get my hands on it because I can get this bait down to 20 foot. It's kind of limited to the depth it can go. And BASSTAR's coming out with one, so I can get that bait down to depths where them fish have never seen a crankbait and nobody's ever got a crankbait. So it's going to give me a little bit of an advantage to get that bait down there deeper than what I can get these other baits down. The colors I like to use, you know, they're chasing bait, so automatically you think, well, let's go to the shad color crankbaits. I go opposite. I go to a bolder color, a blue and chartreuse. It's basically the color I always start with in any lake I go to. And the reason is you get these schooling fish and they're busting through a ball of bait, and they got thousands of shad in front of them. And then all of a sudden this big bright bait comes busting through, and then they just react to it. They can't stand but just to eat it. So I've always gone to the brighter and bolder baits. The rod I like to throw it on is a Dobbins 805. It's a Randy McAbee Signature Series cranking rod. And the reel I got it paired with is a DAIWA ZILLION. It's their 50th anniversary reel. And it's a 7.3-to-1, so it's like the fastest reel on the market. And the reason I go to the high-speed reels is I'm moving my boat so fast that I've got to be able to keep up with this crankbait and actually get it down to the desired depth that I'm fishing it at. So I need a high-speed reel because I'm covering so much water throughout the day. And the line, I always use fluorocarbon line. It's got low stretch, and when I make one of these real long casts and I get that bait down and get bit at the end of my cast, I've got a tight tension on that fish so I can set the hook, I can feel him. And the other advantage to fluorocarbon is when I'm dredging this thing down there in 15 to 20 foot of water, I can feel every rock, stump, sand. It's just a really sensitive line, and it helps me determine whether I'm in a good location to be fishing that crankbait down there or not. The first thing I like to do when I get home, get these baits out of the package before they go on any rod, before they go in the boat, is I change all the hooks. The hook I use is an Owner Stinger. It's an ST36, super sharp hook. I found throughout the years that I've lost less fish, resulting in more tournament wins and more money won. So it's a thing for me. I just change every hook that I have in my boat to an Owner. I change most of my crankbait hooks to red. I don't know if the color makes a big deal, but for me it's a confidence thing. They come in a black nickel and a red. So next time you're out on the lake in the middle of summer, grab a deep diving crankbait, cover a lot of water, just do basically point hop until you find them fish chasing bait, and you'll catch a lot of fish doing it. Again, this is Randy McAbee, Tackle Warehouse Pro. See you guys out on the water.